Why do companies post fake jobs? What do they have to gain from it? I've come across 11 reasons. Here's four of them. My name's Kevin, and I've applied to over 2,100 jobs, and I still don't have a job. During my job hunt, part of what I've come across is that a lot of the jobs that are posted online don't even exist. They're fake. And it's not from scam companies, it's from real companies. Whenever I'm talking to somebody and I tell them that, there's companies out there that are posting jobs that don't even exist, that they have no intention of hiring for, the first question is obviously, why would they post a job that they don't want to hire for? What's in it for them? What what do they have to gain from posting a job that they don't ever intend to hire somebody for? Well, I've come across 11 reasons. Actually, reason number 11 I came across earlier today while I was prepping for this podcast, and I have to tell you it's a doozy, but we're going to hang around for that. That's going to be number 4 that I talk about today. So first I'm going to start with one that's kind of low-hanging fruit. Whenever the conversation turns to why is a company going to post a fake job, right? Are they just trying to collect information? Is what I often get, and the answer to that is yes. And uh, you know what? We'll throw in a fifth one because I mean it's really low hanging fruit, and I kind of alluded to it already. So the first one is that yes, it's they're trying to collect your personal information so that they can sell it. That doesn't happen usually with real companies. That usually happens with the fake companies that are set up or a company that's set up to look like a real company, which uh, you can verify that by looking at the domain of it or I don't know. There's a little bit of research that you can do. We can talk about that in a later episode. But here in episode 2, I want to start off by talking about the 5 reasons, I guess, because I'm going to over deliver on this. I know the title says 4 reasons that companies uh, post fake jobs, but we're going to do 5. So the first one we just said is they're trying to steal your information to sell it to somebody else, right? But again, that's not a real company, and we're more focused on the real companies. That's a bigger problem. So the next one, number 2, is to keep the talent pool warm. So what is keeping the talent pool warm? Well, it's collecting resumes from people nonstop, even if the company's not hiring. And they will do this for a couple different reasons, right? One is, they might think that they're going to hire somebody for, we'll use a generic business analyst position for this one. So maybe they're going to hire a business analyst here in the next year, right? But they don't have the job rec right now, but they kind of want to like get out ahead of themselves and they want to start collecting resumes from people who might be interested in this business analyst role. Seems kind of harmless, right? But it's not because first of all, it's fake because it doesn't meet the requirements, at least that I have set for a job to be real, which is there's a time to hire, they have the intent to hire, a job rec has already been cut, and they need somebody in there doing the job right now or in a reasonable amount of time, which would be the time to hire. So if they're thinking that they might have a rec within 12 months, then it's a fake job. They're not trying to get anybody in there right now. So while HR and recruiters are collecting these resumes, you would think that over time, whenever the time comes for them to hire for that business analyst position, that they would go back into this pool that they've kept warm using their terminology and then find somebody in that pool. But I'm pretty sure we can all understand what they actually do, which is not that. I myself have never, ever been contacted by any company who said, we'd like to hang on to your resume for, the foreseeable future. And we'll go ahead and we'll get back to you, if a job comes up that you're a good fit for. That has never come to fruition in my entire adulthood of applying to jobs. Not only that, but I don't personally know anybody, nor have I heard from anybody on the subreddit or anyone else that I've talked to about this that has had that happen to them. It's a fallacy. It's a fantasy that they're selling you. Is what they're saying. They say, just give me this resume, and then I'll reach back out to you whenever there's something that's a fit for you. But that's not going to happen. I'll tell you exactly what's going to happen. The next time that they have a job rec that comes up that they need to hire for, since they're paying annually in most cases or in several years contract to LinkedIn, Indeed, whoever else to post these jobs, they need to be using that. So instead of going back and pulling from these resumes they've already collected, they post another job. But this one's real. So it might be one real job that they're posting for this business analyst position in month number 11 versus the 10 months of business analyst position that they have posted that they never had any intention to hire for. So, how does that actually benefit the company? So, there's a perceived value to the company for them to be able to collect these resumes for potential future use, but they're never going to do it. Another reason that they'll try to keep the talent pool warm is whenever they're in a hiring freeze, which is a fun little exchange of terms there, right? Because they're in a hiring freeze, they want to keep the talent pool warm. And I've seen a lot of articles on that. And here I'm going to post, let's see, here's one here. It says 8 ways to keep your talent pool warm while you're in a hiring freeze. Keep in touch with people, be interactive. I think those are the same thing. Build effective relationships. That's also the same thing. Uh, but then also to be quick and it's whatever it is. They're saying that we keep these people at the ready so that we can access them whenever it's time to go back and hire. Here's another one. Different ways to keep your talent pipeline warm during hiring freezes. And some of these are kind of shady. If you're in a hiring freeze, if a company's in a hiring freeze, it has a negative impact on the employer brand because people see the company as not hiring, not growing, not able to retain people. They don't have enough money to hire new people, so it has a negative impact on the brand identity, which they want to avoid. So they'll post fake jobs to avoid that negative impact on what they look like. Another reason that they want to keep the talent pool warm during a hiring freeze is that once they get out of the hiring freeze, then they want to be able to pull candidates from all the jobs that they had applied to, even though they weren't real, and they want to try to fit them into these positions that they now have open. But how much time are we actually saving here by having, 4,000 people apply to a job every week that doesn't exist? How much time are you wasting of these people who need income while you're sitting around waiting to decide if you're going to be able to hire or not? Why don't you just be transparent, companies? Why don't you just say, yeah, we're in a hiring freeze. We're not going to post any jobs because what are we going to do with it? What are we going to do with your resume once we get it? We're not hiring you. So why waste everybody's time? Don't do it. And here's the third article that also talks about keeping your talent pool warm during a hiring freeze. So that's 3 articles that I just posted on here that I've scrolled through that talk about keeping the talent pool warm during a hiring freeze. So that's a lot of word salad for them saying, we know that we're posting jobs that don't exist and we're totally okay with it. So here you go. It's standard practice for these people, for so many of these companies, and they don't even see anything wrong with it. And now we're going to move forward to the third one that we're going to talk about today, which is something that I haven't seen really a whole lot of places. There's really only one company that I've seen that has done this, but I can't think that they're the only ones who have figured this out and who are doing this. So, and I got to call out the company for it too. So, Columbia Sportswear, I'm calling you out. So I had applied to company sportswear a handful of times. Like it would be a great company for me to work for. I'm here in the Portland, Oregon area. They're like 20 miles from my house, and it's a $3.4 billion company. They have enough money to pay me like a reasonable wage for me having an MBA and for having experience in Dow 30 and Fortune 50 companies. Plus, they're big enough that they need my insights for competitor stuff and whatever. Anyway, I'd be a great fit there. I've applied there enough times. My resume matches their job posting almost every single time that I apply. But what comes out of that inevitably, and again on YouTube, if you can see this, I'm gonna drop these in. If you're on audio, I'm gonna go ahead and read it to you. Dear Kevin, thank you so much for applying. Your application will be taken into careful consideration, and you will hear back from us after we review your application. Best regards, Talent Acquisition. The job application that I submitted was for Consumer Insights Analyst 2, which I'm very well qualified for. If you'll see up here in the top right, That was on May 27th of this year at 7:29 p.m. that I submitted that application. Now we're going to go over to their immediate response. Hey, Kevin, as someone who clearly loves the Columbia Sportswear Company brands, we wanted to thank you for applying by giving you a one time entry pass to your nearest employee store where you can shop our family of brands at up to 60% off retail prices. We are here to connect with blah, blah, blah. Okay, so what they did is when they post these jobs for Columbia, I always see them posted, and it's for the position I said I applied for. It's consumer insights analyst. You don't have to be on site to do that job. I can do that job remotely. I can do it from Reykjavik, Iceland, or wherever. Right? I don't need to be in Portland to do it. But whenever they post these jobs, they always post them as local only. So they say that you have to be on site. They want somebody who's already in the Portland area or is willing to relocate to the Portland area. So you got to figure that it's somebody that's either already here or somebody that's going to be moving here. And then whenever they send that response, I don't think I pointed that out a second ago, but the response was also at 7:29 p.m., the same exact minute. So as soon as I hit the submit button, they sent me a pass to go shop at their store. And this only goes out. And so everybody who's applying to this job, they're all locals and they're sending out these coupons to go shop at their store to all these people who are locals. Now, I have never gotten any response back from them that wasn't a boilerplate rejection letter and didn't come, within like 7 to 10 days. So every single time like clockwork, I get rejected for these jobs that I'm very well qualified for that LinkedIn has said they've had thousands of applicants, right? And you got to think if it's somebody who's on site required, or at least willing to be on site required, and they have the skill set to do this job, right? How many people in the Portland area are going to be qualified to do that? But it keeps getting reposted. And every time that I apply to it, they're like, hey, here's another coupon. Come spend your money. So that's how Columbia Sportswear at least benefits from this fake job scenario is they just try to get people in the door to buy their clothes because why not? It's a marketing tactic, right? Gotta go at it from every angle. Doesn't matter that people like me, people like you who are listening to this podcast or watching me on YouTube, it doesn't matter that y'all need jobs and that you're spending the 15 to 20 minutes to fill out the application, whatever else. And, let's say you're into snowboarding or hiking or something, and you're like, oh my gosh, this Columbia Sportswear. Like, I'm super stoked. I'd love to work there because they cater to what I like to do. I'm passionate about it, whatever. But they don't care that you're invested in it, that you're excited about it. It's just, hey, here's another tool to get you in here to spend money. So sorry, Columbia Sportswear, but I will no longer be applying to you. And I recommend that anybody watching this to not give them the time of day either. Moving forward to the number 4 reason that I'm going to give you today as to why companies benefit from posting fake jobs. This is the first one that I ever found out about, and it was it really kind of set me off. So it was somebody who is very close to somebody that I'm very close to said that they would help me with a recommendation or a referral. There we go. That's what it is. Someone said they helped me with a referral for a position for which I was very well qualified. It was a very high paying position. And this person was very high up at the company. Whenever I applied, I asked, hey, what job should I apply to? Like, this is what I do. And the person said, go ahead and find something that you're into and then send it to me. And then I'll send you the referral. So I went online and I found it and I applied to the position because I hadn't heard back yet. Because I said, hey, I'm going to apply to this position. I hadn't heard back yet on a referral. I was expecting to maybe get like a back end referral, right? Or like a sign off or at least a heads up to the hiring manager or something, right? But the response that I got, hey, Kevin, that role is one of the generic feelers listed on the website that is meant to grab interest, but we have no specific role in mind. So my connection says, here's this job that you applied to, but it's just meant to grab interest. It's just meant to generate interest in the company, but they have no intent to hire for it. So now I understand if you're a small company and you're trying to generate interest and you're looking at every avenue that's possible to try to get something. Sure, like I don't agree with it, but if you're going to post a fake job and then someone's going to see your company and then, maybe you get noticed by somebody else. That's one thing. Still not okay, by the way. But whenever you're Verizon Wireless and you're posting fake jobs to generate interest in the company, to grab interest, I'm pretty sure most of North America is very well aware of you, Verizon. You don't need to post a fake job to get them to be aware of you. Can you hear me now? And on to the fifth and final one that we're going to talk about today in this podcast. And this is the one that I found out whenever I was doing some research, getting ready to record today. But I came across a story, and I'll link it later. I want to discuss the story a little bit more in depth, but I didn't have time to process it before I hit the record button today. But one of these articles that I've seen referenced a very large survey of people who are recruiters and HR people, hiring managers, and many of them admitted to posting fake jobs. And one of the reasons that was given by these people who have admitted to doing this firsthand was one that I had not heard of up until this point, and it kind of made me sick to my stomach. The intent for, and it's not just one company, it was like 60 something percent of respondents said this, that it is an actual reason why they post fake jobs. It's to make their current employees feel replaceable. Now, how low is that? The people that you count on to do the work to keep your company afloat, the people who have loyalty to your company, who are coming in and punching the clock every day, who are working remote from home because their kid is sick at home, but they still have to get the work done. So, they're on the laptop, they're banging the keys, they're writing the code, they're looking at marketing statistics or whatever. The people who are putting an effort for this company to stay afloat and to be profitable and to make money. And this, again, it isn't just one. It was like 60 something percent of respondents said this. They don't want those people to feel like their job is safe. If you have a job right now, it's possible that your company is posting fake jobs so that you don't feel like you have job security, so that you will work harder so they can get more out of you. They will scam you, they will trick you into putting more effort into the company because they want you to feel like you're replaceable. Who does that? Ugh. So that's 5 of the 11 reasons that I've come across as to why companies post fake jobs and what they get out of it. Um, I'll be talking about the other 6 in another episode. I might break it up into 2 episodes because I'm leaving some of the bigger ones for later. If you're getting value from this podcast, if what I'm saying is helping you to understand the job market that you're in, is helping you to understand what you're up against, or at least giving you some sort of solidarity with other people, please share this podcast, share this YouTube video with people. It's that's the best way for this information to get out, is word of mouth, and just telling people who are in this situation, because they're not alone. I'm not alone. We're not alone. We're all here together. If you want to talk more about it, check out the links in. I think I'm going to put them in the description below. I tried to last time. They're in my bio. They're going to be wherever. But yeah, it's currently I'm on Spotify. We got the subreddit. That's reddit.com /r/fight fake jobs. That's the big one. That's where we talk about all this stuff the most. Twitter /X, TikTok. The links are there. Please hit all the buttons. Hit all the buttons, subscribe, follow, all that stuff. I also just want to say thank you for watching this video, for watching the last video, for listening on the streaming platforms, for podcasts. It's very important that this information get out to people, and I'm so happy that you're here listening to me. Please help get the word out. Again, the ultimate goal of this is to try to take it to Congress, to try to get something done where we can get some sort of legislation in place to stop companies from doing this horrible, horrible behavior. That's going to do it for today's episode. So just like that, we're moving forward to episode 3, and I'll see you there.